I can hear boyfriend in the background. Hi, boyfriend.
He's saying hi to you.
Hi there.
They could hear you in the background.
That beautiful slut. Joining me today is a very special guest, the lovely Felix the Unicorn. Say hello, Felix.
Hi everyone.
Oh, look at him. He's so beautiful and camp, and I love him so much. I'd lick that bandana right off his head. This is going to be the most homoerotic podcast on Spotify. We already know.
Wait.
It's going to be beautiful. But we've got a few things on the docket today. Obviously, any listeners will probably be wondering, where is Sam? The answer is... fuck knows. But because of the issues today, we have the lovely Felix joining us instead. He has very kindly given up his... he should have said hello, Felix. He should have done, yeah. Hello, Felix! But yeah, Felix has very kindly stepped in last minute to fill the void for us. So everyone at home, let's get a round of applause for Felix. But yeah, no.
That's kind of sad. I'm not
It's all right. I'll put in I'll post edit in a proper round of applause.
yeah, we'll edit it in post.
It'll be absolutely fine. How are you feeling? You happy to be here?
I am very, very happy to be here. I was, I know that you were trying to, when you were going to do a D&D episode, you were going to say that at some point you might want to get me on the podcast. I'm very, very excited to be on it.
Yeah, no D&D today, because unfortunately I've still not had the chance to watch the film. I have, however, now watched the Mario movie, which I must say was pretty good.
Oh, damn, I still have to watch that one.
It's, it came onto streaming services and stuff last week. I don't know what streaming services. All I know is I 100% watched it completely legally through a site that was completely genuine.
Yes.
Don't sue me.
For legal reasons, we have to say that every film and every video game we play is absolutely 100% legal.
To be fair, I don't pirate video games unless they're abandonware. If they're abandonware and you physically can't get them anywhere else, then I will. But I don't feel guilty about that. So...
yeah, see, I started doing that as well, because when I was younger, I used to pirate video games a lot. It's mostly because I didn't have any consoles, and I didn't have the money. My parents would not spend any money on video games because they would say that that's a waste of time and that's a waste of money and whatever. But then, you know, once I moved out, I got my own job and everything. I'm like, well, I can just buy the games I want, and literally, unless it is abandonware, as you said, then yeah, I tend to buy it, or I get the passes, like the Xbox pass, we just get so many games for like £7 a month, you know. So it's like,
well, that's the thing with stuff like Game Pass and PS Now and stuff. It's that insane. You don't need to pirate anything anymore because everything's already there. Plus, half the games are that unoptimized now. There's a lot of sirens going on by you this morning.
oh shit, sorry about that. Let me just close my windows.
No, you're absolutely fine, mate. It's funny. It makes you sound like a hardened criminal. Secretly, Felix is a prolific drug dealer.
That's right.
He deals exclusively in paracetamols and Calpol.
In this economy, yes, I do.
Mate, fuck that. Calpol's well expensive. It's like nearly £10 a bottle or some shit.
Honestly, though, yeah.
Everything's expensive. Like, it's ridiculous. Stuff shit.
It's really stupid, honestly. But even when it comes to just like prescription medication, like that's gone up to, I forgot how it was now, but that I'm pretty sure used to be like £8 when I moved to England, and that was only like 6 years ago. Yeah. And now it's like a tenner. So it's like, okay, what's going on?
I have noticed that your camera's a little bit behind, so I'll just do that. Now you've disappeared. That's interesting. What have I done? Alright, I've pressed something that's broken your camera. It's fine, we'll keep talking. But yeah, the first so there we are. So the first thing we have on the docket today, I can hear boyfriend in the background. Hi, boyfriend.
He's saying hi to you.
Hi there.
They could hear you in the background.
That beautiful slut. But yeah, so the first thing we have on the docket today is there's a new mod for Skyrim.
Is there?
Yes, it's a mod that lets you put Chat GPT into it. So for anyone at home who doesn't know what Chat GPT is an AI learning software that is designed that the more you speak to it, the more it learns. So by inputting it into Skyrim, it has basically made it so every NPC is, other than like core features they need, is a blank canvas. You can go speak to them and they will remember you and they will talk about the world around them. They'll notice the time of day. They'll remember previous conversations you've had. You can actually befriend these AIs and it's almost limitless.
That's very cool. I'm just Googling it now just to like get a little bit of an overview, but that's absolutely amazing, honestly. I can see that being very broken though.
I've watched, I don't know if anyone knows the YouTuber ESO.
Yes.
He does a lot of role-playing game content. He has taken it for a spin, and there are bits where when they're speaking, it does sound kind of robotic, because naturally it's not going to properly flow grammatically like it would if a normal person says it, because the lexical field of it is completely different, because for all intents and purposes, it's still a robot.
It's still it doesn't have the human touch of it.
But
so
it takes all the pre-recorded voice lines for each NPC, learns their voice, so when it speaks, it's in their voice as well.
That's very
cool.
Cool.
It's insane. It's so cool. It's almost limitless the use you could have for it, but I imagine it's very taxing on your computer.
I suppose so. Although I personally have no idea how rendering of like dialogue for GPT works.
Yeah, I've got no idea either. But it's got to be something. It's got to be like got to take some like what?
I mean, just because it's like real time generation and real time like rendering of this. I would assume it probably drains on your CPU.
Yeah,
and your RAM a lot.
I imagine CPU usage would need to be. You need a decent CPU. But I personally think it's amazing. I think the uses of it is cool, and the way it could be applied. Considering this is on a 10-year-old game, there's going to be limitations anyway. The fact that this could be used in future games with better hardware and better software is crazy. Like, yeah. I keep saying limitless, but it really is. But on the other side of that, a lot of people don't like it.
I can see why. I know that a lot of people don't like AI in general. Especially after the boom of AI art. I don't really know how to classify it, because a lot of people say like it's not real art because there is no actual artist's input. It learns from other artists, which there was a massive discourse about it, because there was never really a consent for artists to like submit their art pieces towards this kind of thing. And I can see why people would not like that in video games. But then again, this is a chat AI which learns from already then I guess that kind of runs into the similar issue, doesn't it? Where it learns from already existing text. Yeah,
but I think the other issue is it has dropped at a bad time, considering we're currently going through a phase where all the Writers Guild associations are on strike because they're not being paid enough. And now one of the leading video game stories is we have some software that makes voice actors and writers completely obsolete. I can see why that's going to rub people the wrong way, because it is in the grand scheme of things, it's going to take a lot of responsibility and creativeness away from the creators, because they can just plug that in and go, oh, well, it'll learn and do it itself. And then you've also got the fact that you'll only need probably 100 voice lines for each character, and then the game will do the rest.
I feel like that's only going to work with very generic NPCs. If you are going to have an NPC that's like a very story-heavier, a story-important NPC, you can't really rely on ChatGPT to, learn the lines properly and say them properly. Like if you have, say, for example, imagine the Last of Us game, right?
Yeah.
And you would just get Ashley Johnson to record like 100 lines. Not even, and then give it to ChatGPT and like AI learner to learn how to mimic her voice. I just feel like that there would be no emotion to it. It would all
Yeah.
be just based off of, like you still need that human input of acting, because AI can't do that. It can do it into a very, very limited degree.
Yeah, I get that. So so like your story-driven games probably are safe from it, but I reckon like your big scale RPG stuff like Witcher and Skyrim and Fallout and probably Starfield in the future as well, that's not going to be safe from this. I mean, even if
No,
they
I
don't
don't
officially
think it
license it, now it's been done once, it's going to be done again. I'm waiting for an article
Yeah.
saying that they've done it for Fallout 4 now.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen.
They will. They've got to.
Yeah, it's gonna happen with it, just because. Well, once you modded Skyrim, it's like, well, okay, this is basically just a.
Well, it's the same
You-
engine, isn't it? You can
Yeah,
literally
it
just
is the same
carry
engine.
everything over. So
Yeah.
it's probably not that hard work to get it running on Fallout now.
But again, I think it could work for stuff like you have a studio that can't necessarily afford to have loads of additional voices for like background NPCs.
Yeah.
Sure. Get like a guy with a masculine voice and a person with a feminine voice to just like get a couple of voices in and then give it to AI, and they will make some kind of background conversation that's like not important for the story whatsoever. Sure, I can see that happening, but I would also not do that if the studio can afford getting actual voice actors
yeah.
in. Because, like, if you can give people the job, if you can give artists a platform, then just fucking do it. Don't take it away from them,
Yeah. It's an interesting one, and I do feel like it's going to definitely change the way NPC creation goes in the future, because I feel like we have hit, this is a turning point for the industry, like whether you like it or not. It's something no one ever thought would actually be done. It is crazy, but like you said, if you've got a studio that doesn't have much money but they have this tool, they can get 5-10 people in to record some voice lines. What takes one afternoon, 20 minutes pop.
Yeah.
They've got thousands of lines of dialogue there.
Yeah, exactly. And I can see that being absolutely amazing for this kind of shit. I think this needs to be done with moderation, though.
Yeah.
But I'm also wondering, do you think that's gonna like fall on the same way that VR did? Because VR was like, this is a massive thing in gaming and everything's going to become VR and everything. And it's just sort of stagnating around it, isn't it? It's like, yes, VR is amazing and it's cool, but not everyone has a VR set. And like, not every game actually looks great in VR. I just feel like that a lot of studios will, they will like dip their toes into it and then probably decide that actually I'm not quite sure whether this is gonna work.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because obviously VR, I love VR. I have the PlayStation 1 VR. When I get a PS5, I want to get the PS2 VR. If I had a decent enough PC, I'd be running a VR setup right now, even with the lack of space I have. One of the things I want to do is I do want to stream Resident Evil 7 on VR at some point, because I have that. But the limitations with VR I've always found is the fact you have to have that hardware and you have to have that space. Whereas for a company to just incorporate ChatGPT into a game, it's no more effort off of the user's side. So I feel like it's probably less gimmicky and more of just a tool that can be used in limited situations.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you will not need any special equipment for
exactly.
it.
Especially if it's actually base incorporated into the game and optimized properly by AAA companies. There's no reason that couldn't be put in almost every single game. Which I feel like, in that sense, it's less of a gimmick and more of a tool. That's how people describe me. But I could see it getting used in the future. I can definitely see people like EA, when they make the next Dragon Age, using something like this, because as they have shown in the past, like any company in EA other than Respawn, so especially BioWare nowadays, are lazy as fuck. And half of their voice acting was wooden anyway, so ChatGPT would not seem out of place. And that's not me going after anyone who loves Dragon Age. I love Dragon Age, but you can't deny that since the first game, what's followed has been mediocrity.
It kind of is true, to be honest. I have not finished the first game. I'm still going through it. The second one I haven't played, but I heard that that's kind of a fan beloved one.
The second one's weird. The second one, I thought the story was shit, the world was tiny, but the combat and characters were amazing. Plus, my go-to romance option is a wood elf voiced by the person who played Gwen in Torchwood, which is fucking cool.
Very fair, very, very fair.
That's awesome.
I have not finished Inquisition yet, but I do have to say there's quite a lot of bit in the Inquisition that are like, I just feel like that could have been done a bit better. But then also, I don't have that much to compare it to, so I wasn't really that vocal about it because I didn't really know. I was playing it because my friends told me to play it because it's a cool game. And it's true. It's an amazing game. I'm enjoying myself a lot.
Yeah, but you can't deny that it is very stripped back of what it could be when you look at other RPGs. But it gives you a Dragon Age experience. For that, you can't complain.
Absolutely.
Especially in comparisons wise, it's when you look at it, the most comparative game, because 2 felt a lot more fluid.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like the original, which is the fans' fault. It's our fault because we said to them we want a game more like the original. 2 was good, but it was too much of a departure. So they went back to doing the original and just bumped the graphics up. And don't get me wrong, it's a nice looking game. However, the only decent hair and beard combos for the male characters make your character look like Dave Grohl. But aside from that, it's...
Oh, dude, I've modded my hair in that game so much.
So I play on Xbox, so I can't mod it. But yeah, it's one of them. It feels very similar to the first game, and you'd think that would be a good thing. However, people wanted an experience like the first game, but modernized. Whereas that game feels like it could have easily released in like 2005. Downgrade the graphics and the gameplay would have felt like at home. Which I enjoy the game, don't get me wrong, but I hope for Dragon Age 4, for Dreadwolf, they actually pull something out of their arse and make it more interesting.
Yeah, I still need to finish. I didn't even get to Trespasser yet, so I know kind of what is going to happen in Dreadwolf, but I don't really know any story bits that leads to it, so I'll have to do that.
I saved locked myself later in the Trespasser DLC, and I only had one save, so I had to restart the game, and I was fucking fuming. So I'm yet to get back. Well, I'll tell a lie. I'm at the Trespasser DLC, but I'm yet to get back to where I was. It's taken me about 4 years to get back there because I've just every time I booted it up, I've told the game to go fuck itself. But yeah, no.
Oh man.
The thing with going back to the Chat GPT thing, the use of AI, especially learning AI like that in chat. You can't see it on the podcast, but I can just see boyfriend chilling on the couch behind you.
Yeah, he's playing Zelda.
You beautiful bitch. Morning. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, ChatGPT, it's a learning AI. Like I said, so obviously it remembers conversations and stuff. I'd be interested to see if they can incorporate learning AI into more aspects than just speech. So, for example, like you've seen it in, I want to say Bloodborne had learning AI, where if you spammed an attack, it would start blocking that attack. Like it learned how you fought and it made it more interesting. It would be cool to see a sort of learning AI used in these sort of games, especially Skyrim, where, let's face it, the AI is shit.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Bethesda AI, when it comes to like NPCs interaction and stuff like that, it's not the best.
That's why it's one of the first things to get modded. But to see them actually have AI that learn vocally so they can give more interesting voice lines, but then learn strategically so they can outmaneuver you, rather than just what they all do, which is even if you've got a ranged weapon, they just sprint at you.
Yeah. I was just doing a little bit of a Google on that mod, and on sgeek.sg, I don't know the website, but I'm just going through like different articles. There is a section of the article that talks about limitations of the AI in the game, and it's quite interesting to hear because it says that it faces some challenges as limitation. One of them is the speed and quality of responses, which can sometimes be slow and unnatural, which is, that's true. Another is ethical and legal implications of using AI to generate content that may not reflect the original version of intention, which is like...
So you're gonna get an AI that becomes a Nazi or something, and you're gonna be like, oh no! Yeah, it's realistic.
Yeah.
If you push it, because from what I've seen, I'm pretty sure they've done it so if you put a microphone on, you can speak into it and it actually responds directly to you. So if you wanted to make some fucked up AI, you could do it.
You absolutely could.
You shouldn't,
Nothing's stopping you.
but you could. So the ethical implications, I get that wholeheartedly, especially considering if they use actual voice actors. Like, could you imagine, like you said earlier, about using Ashley Johnson to just record 100 lines? Could you imagine her
that.
doing that, and then someone uses ChatGPT to record loads of lines of her saying like something homophobic or racist?
Literally, especially because, like, specifically, I mean, none of the bigger voice actors are like that, but like Ashley Johnson, like she is very vocally open about being like pro trans rights and like and against all the anti-LGBT propagandas and all that shit. So it's like, imagine someone does that in the game and then gets them to speak some kind of bullshit, because AI will just learn where you tell it to.
Yeah.
So, it's just it also continues in the thing saying, furthermore, there is a question of whether AI generated dialogue can ever match the creativity and nuance of human written dialogue, which is something that I personally think is going to make it flop.
Well, this is the thing, though, is it's still, in the grand scheme of things with this, it's still early days with AI. So at this minute in time, I agree. I don't think it can match the nuances of an actual human being. But considering how far we've come in a couple of years, give it another 10 years, I reckon it could.
That's true, actually.
I reckon with the path we're going down, someone's going to make a true AI and Skynet's going to exist and we're all going to die. That's genuinely how I think the human race is going to get wiped out. I think it's going to be for our own hubris, and we're just going to make a robot that thinks, fucking hell, humans is shit. Looks on the internet, sees TikTok challenges, and just thinks these people need to die. To be fair, that's what I do on a nightly basis.
Even with just like, people at work, you look around, it's like, fuck me, it would be so much better. I know what
Some days I think the world should just burn. So this is going very morbid. Please, Spotify, don't remove this for me saying that I want Skynet to destroy us all. But yeah, I think we've said everything we can really say about ChatGPT other than rehashing what we've already said. So we'll move on to the next one. This is a weird one. Fortnite will be an Olympic sport in 2023. Now, this is fucking weird.
I don't see how that's gonna work.
Well, the whole thing about the Olympics, it's all about peace and unity. So you can't have violent sports on it. So you can't do the battle royale mode for Fortnite.
Is there any other modes on Fortnite? I thought that's just the only one.
I don't know if it's already out or if they're making it for the Olympics, but it is literally just going to be contestants will go to a shooting range on Fortnite, and it will be whoever gets the highest score on the shooting range. So not only is it fucking stupid, it's stupid and boring.
Yeah, that's gonna be... I don't know. Like, listen, is this... we're talking, obviously, Olympics of, like, esports, right? We're not talking, like...
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I just imagined like a corner on the Olympics, like actually like outside with just like a bunch of people on computers. And I just had like, that's not how it's gonna work, is it?
Just all in the middle of the javelin field. Clicky, clicky, clicky. I mean, I'd pay to see it. That'd probably be more entertaining. How about they do it while someone's doing javelin?
Oh my god, yes.
Have to play a game and hope you don't get impaled. I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
It'd probably be quite entertaining.
When it comes to the esports Olympics, because a big part of esports Olympic is... Oh, wait, no. There's a big part of esports is stuff like Overwatch and that sort of stuff. So yeah. I don't think that Fortnite as the Battle Royale version would be that much of an issue. But... Then again, I don't really know. I don't really watch the esports Olympics. I don't watch any Olympics, to be honest. So,
well, let's have a look at what's on the Olympics esports list.
Yeah, go for it.
We have tic-tac-bow, so it's noughts and crosses, but with a bow and arrow.
All right.
E-baseball, electronic chess, electronic cycling, Just Dance, Gran Turismo, Virtual sailing. It's called virtual regatta. Never heard of it. Virtual taekwondo.
Interesting.
Some game called Tennis Clash. It looks terrible. And obviously now Fortnite. Now I personally think half of them games, other than Just Dance, I feel like a lot of them are just fucking stupid. If you want to play chess, play it on a board. If you want to play baseball, go play baseball.
Yeah,
If you want to play taekwondo, don't be a bitch, go punch someone in the head. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I understand. I agree with like some of them, obviously, but like I do understand this from the point of view of like, okay, if you're someone that like because either of location or disability or any other circumstance are not able to do this sport specifically, then esports are the way for you to go. You know.
But they have the Paralympics for people with disabilities. That's the other thing. So there are stuff out there for them.
Yeah, I personally feel like that Paralympics and esports should sort of work together in this.
Yeah.
Not on the same event, but I think that if you have esports specifically, because these people are unable to, do this sport outside of with great help, then yes, that's probably part of
rather than just having completely fit and healthy people sat in their underpants at home, fake kicking at a screen just to get perfect scores on Just Dance.
See, well, yeah, but then again, because that's why I think it's not part of any bigger official things, is because this is literally just a bunch of people who are like, well, we want to have fun, but we don't really want to do sports.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I understand that. That's pretty cool. When coming back to Fortnite, being part of the Olympics, I feel like I have a fear almost that what they're gonna try and do is make all of these game modes in Fortnite and just be like, Fortnite just hosts the Olympics now, and like all of the games happen in it. Because it's like, listen, the coding and the engine and everything, it supports different type of plays.
Yeah, it does. Well, we've seen that recently with the new build stuff that they've been doing. They've been making all these insane worlds that do like, I think didn't they full on make like one of the Jedi games in Fortnite or something recently?
It's entirely possible. I stopped looking at Fortnite after a while because I didn't like it that much. But I know that it went through quite a lot of development since the beginning. But yeah,
it's an interesting one. There's not much to say on it other than what the fuck, really.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's weird, man. I feel like Fortnite. If you can't have the base Fortnite mode as the sport, then I don't personally think Fortnite belongs.
No, you shouldn't really do it as.
If you're gonna do a shooting range, at least choose a fucking good game.
Yeah, right.
Apex has a better shooting range than Fortnite, and Apex isn't that good.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could easily do that in just the practice range in Overwatch. That's got a shooting range built in.
Yeah,
and you've got it ready good to go. I don't really have that much to say about it other than I don't know.
I personally don't agree. I personally, and this sounds awful, I don't think esports has a place in the Olympics.
I don't think it has a place on the Olympics as in the actual Olympics,
no.
right?
Like you said though, about having it as like an extra step for the Paralympics for people with disabilities who limit their travel or limit their ability to do certain things, so the only thing they can do is that. Having that as an extra platform for them, yeah, 100% support it. But in the actual main Olympics events where people train their fucking asses off and push themselves to the brink to compete in sports, and then you've got some dickhead at home fake sailing a digital boat.
Yeah, I know.
I don't agree with that. That's bollocks.
No, but the thing is like I don't think that esports is actually recognized by the official Olympics anyway. Like it's recognized as a I forgot about gay time. Sorry, I can't control that.
No, you're all good, mate. You're all good.
I don't think that the actual Olympics, like the Olympics and the Paralympics, are actually recognizing as esports as part of. Are they actually?
An International Shooting Sport Federation ISSF challenge featuring Fortnite will be part of the roster for the inaugural Olympic Esports Series 2023, bringing the total of sports and games involved in the series to 10. The International Olympic Committee, the IOC, together with the Singapore National Olympic Council, SNOC, have revealed the event details and ticketing information on Friday, the 5th of May. The competition will be an invitational event and involve 12 players from the Fortnite Champion Series. It will feature a special International Shooting Sport Federation Island created in Fortnite, which will be designed to reflect sports shooting competition. Players will be tested on the target aiming accuracy just as sports shooters would in the competition. So it is actually full on recognised by the Olympic board.
Holy shit. Okay.
Which is stupid as fuck, as I said.
As long as they keep it completely separate from the rest of it, then I feel like that's gonna be it's fine, sure, whatever. But it's just kind of like, I mean, why?
There is one thing I've learned from this, though, is I have now found out that on the Olympics, probably if I turn on my TV and press the red button and go to the extras, I could probably watch some dickhead do Just Dance for the Olympics, which could be hilarious. Because I'll give them that. Just Dance, an actual physical activity. Like the virtual taekwondo, that's a physical activity. I get them. But I want to see someone play Just Dance, because I remember playing Just Dance 2 on the Nintendo Wii, doing the Bollywood song as a duet on my own with a remote in each hand and nearly dying. And I still got 5 stars or whatever the hell they're rated on, the high scores. I still got them on both people.
Oh, damn. Well done on that. I have not got that on like a single player mode.
It's alright. Then I had an asthma attack, so life was good.
Oh, man.
But yes, that's a weird one. So, speaking of building stuff in one game, we're going to go to another game that lets you build stuff. Roblox is on a downhill spiral. I don't know if you can see the graph on stream, but everyone else should be able to. Q3 of 2022, it dropped drastically, and it's starting to slowly climb back up, but nowhere near what it used to be. It is at a very, very high net loss. As of, if we have a look on here, how many have we got? So starting here, so we lost 3,000 then plus 3. They lost, oh my god, they lost $1 billion.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it.
They lost $1 billion last year.
Oh wow.
And so far this year they have already lost $250 million.
I have a fear that Roblox might just get decommissioned eventually.
Thing is, Roblox has been around for a long ass time and they've done nothing new. I remember being like however old and playing Roblox as a kid. And it was shit then.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same now. Like it's got the building tool in it, yeah, which is great and people use it, but not enough for it to actually save them from this hole, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is like it's an old game. It's the only two kinds of people that go into it now are kids and pedophiles. There's no grown-ups playing it. Well, it's awful to say, but it's true.
It kind of is true, unfortunately.
It's such a predatory environment now that a lot of people are pulling the kids away from it, and especially like considering parents with how often this has been in the news for sexual predators. The amount of parents that have pulled the kids away and now know what Robux is and refuse to pay for them.
Yeah,
they're going to be on a decline.
Yeah, they are going to be on a decline. The problem is I don't actually even know what the main gameplay of Roblox is, because last time I checked, it was just sort of like a chat room thing with like a bunch of games, like mini games in it.
So Roblox, from when I played it, I don't know what it is like now, but when I played it as a kid, from what I remember, is you would go you'd boot the game up, it'd have like a lobby menu, and what you'd do is you'd go through a bit like if you've ever seen people play Happy Wheels when they go into the custom maps.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit like that. You just go down a list of user-created maps.
Oh, okay.
And there were different things, like there were building tycoons where you'd earn money and then build stuff. There was obstacle courses, prison escapes, roleplay servers. The roleplay servers were always fucking weird. But I can't say anything because I used to play on IMVU, which was like Habbo Hotel for teenagers, and I did that when I was when I was like 9 years old and got a Dutch girlfriend who was 24. So you know.
Oh man.
Svetlana, I always miss you. I don't know what her name was. I can't remember. But yeah.
Her name's a pick though. Oh man. Yeah. No. I'm just looking at a couple of articles that people are saying, but yeah, it's literally just. I think personally, it's because if it's literally just that. And they've introduced absolutely nothing new, and unfortunately, because of the demographic that this is, being played by, which is mostly little kids and people who unfortunately want to play with little kids, it's a bit kind of like there's just nothing for people to enjoy anymore. Like
No, there isn't.
I would imagine that like the kids play it for the reasons like it's appealing in the sense that like it's fun shapes, it's fun colors, you get to like pick outfits for your character, and it's like a little, you can like hang out with your friends, you can do little mini games. Yeah, sure, that's all fun. It's kind of the equivalent of when we were kids and we were in the PC lab during like a break and we were playing Flash games online together.
Yes, I love playing Flash games. I remember in school I used to sell USB sticks with Flash games on.
Oh damn, really?
Purely so I could keep renewing my Xbox Live.
Oh damn.
Because what I would do is I would buy a USB stick, or buy like 5 USB sticks, copy the games over from my PC onto the stick, so I never had to buy the games again. I just had them downloaded.
Yeah.
I'd just copy them over from one USB stick to another, sell that USB stick on for like £1, £2 extra of what it should cost. And then obviously all the profit then would just go back into it and I'd get more USB sticks. And then once I had enough to get a handful of USB sticks and some Xbox Live, I'd go buy some Xbox Live. Like, I was the king of Flash games in high school. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Damn, nice. I was just looking at myself on the podcast and I realized I need a reflector or a light sword or something because I am dark as fuck. So
I just need anti-reflection on my lenses. I don't know if you can see that. You see literally everything in my glasses.
Yeah, but it's just like I just have like a empty screen with just white background open, so that I have some kind of source of light in front of me right now.
Well, I'm planning on doing my front soon. I've got like a couple posters I want to put up there. I've got some corner shelves I want to put up, some plants, some normal shelves. I'm gonna make it look pretty in here. I don't know why, because we're moving soon. But well, I'll say soon.
Mm.
It's gonna be another like 6 months probably, but still, can take it all with me. It's fine. Back to Roblox anyway.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Got distracted.
Halffull's saying maybe because it's just an app for nonsense, which is like,
yeah, she's not wrong.
Sadly, yeah, that's kind of what it becomes. It's just boring. Like, there's just nothing to do for people. Like, it's if once you've played it a little bit, it's like great. But what if I want to do like I don't know, something else? Where like, I feel like that Roblox has such a massive potential to be a bit more than what it is, because you can build the little games on it and all that stuff, which is a lot of fun and blah blah blah, but like why not introduce like a single player campaign mode where you've got, I don't know, world generation, but then it is the encroaching of the territory of Minecraft, it's just.
But the thing is, there's that many carbon copies of Minecraft out there. No one would get pissy if Roblox went down the same route. It would give it longevity, but I don't think they will, because they're lazy. They can't even moderate their own servers that they put up for people to build in. That's why they've had so many fucking lawsuits, which is probably contributing to the massive amount of money that they're losing, because they've been on a decline since Q1 2018.
Yikes!
And then I don't know what happened in Q3 of 2021, but it went from them losing 142 million to only 77 million. It's like, oh great, hope. And then the quarter after that, they lost 147 million. So no, but it's like there's this steady decline. And I don't know what happened mid last year, but it went from them losing 178 million to them losing 301 million. What happened? I want to know.
Yeah, that's a very good question, to be honest. something. I wonder whether just people started just realizing, being like, hey, this is just a lot of
Roblox
shit.
controversy 2022. That's why.
What happened? Hold on, let me Google that as well.
They added a Lamborghini into the game, like an official Lamborghini with logos, and Lamborghini sued them.
Oh, shit.
October 2022, Roblox gets sued by Lamborghini, possibly over copyright infringement. This experience removed Lamborghini cars as a result of this. So they added Lamborghinis into the game and got sued by Lamborghini.
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of
stupid.
on them if they didn't like consent that from them, if they didn't have like.
Well, that's what I mean. They don't moderate. So people can just add what they want, and it's such a dangerous game to play. Not only the dangerous game of like being able to add what you want, but the dangerous game of putting your child in there and risking them getting groomed. But sorry, that's such a fucking awful joke. I've made some dark jokes on this channel, but fucking hell, that was something else. I do apologize, but I couldn't help myself.
It's fine. We'll live. We'll just move past.
Yeah, we'll move past that. That never happened. But yeah, so that's where Roblox is at the minute. It's having a day.
Yeah,
I might genuinely at some point stream Roblox just out of morbid curiosity,
just to see what it is like.
just to see what's going on with it. I do some actual research, put my money where my mouth is for the channel. Do you know what I mean? And just hope that I don't come across anything that gets me insta-banned the minute it sees me, considering Twitch has already fallen out with me once this month.
I know, which is so strange to be honest, because you're not the only person who was streaming that, so I don't really see why you were like attacked about it.
Probably because I already owe Jeff Bezos a cheese board.
What?
Have I never told you this?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know when they were doing the rollout of all the animated emotes for everybody?
Yeah.
Well, I was one of the last people to get them.
Right.
And literally the day before I got them, I emailed Jeff. I found Jeff Bezos' email on the internet. And I emailed it, and I told him that if he gave me my animated emotes, I'd send him a cheese board. And then the day after I sent it, I got my animated emotes. Now,
oh my god.
Obviously, it's just pure coincidence.
Yeah,
but
imagine if it was like, and he's waiting for his cheeseburger.
I have a feeling he's just got it out for me because he's like, I want my brie. He promised me. I specifically promised him Applewood smoked cheddar, which is the best cheese of all time. That's probably why he's pissed off, because he's not had his Applewood smoked.
That's what it's gonna be.
Like that one dickhead from the north of England promised me cheese and he's not sent me it.
Honestly, I would also, if someone would send me an email, I was a CEO, someone sent me an email like, if you do this for me, I'll send you a cheese board, I would get it sorted and then be on their doorstep like, cheese board, please.
Yeah, I would have fucking loved cheese, man. Hopefully in chat, I love that cheese. Everyone loves Applewood smoked cheddar. It is the best cheese to get on a cheese board. I'll just send him loads of cheese slices.
Yeah, just do that. Just get, dude. Okay,
single.
what kind of fucking fuck off would it be if you would send him an Amazon order of cheese?
prime delivery, some cheese singles.
Yeah,
that would be a way to do it.
Oh, I would love to see that.
I feel like it would be harder to find his actual address as opposed. Bless you. I feel like it would be harder to find his actual address as opposed to his email address. I don't think I could email cheese. I could
just send it.
Just email him a PNG of some cheese.
Yeah, just so that I was gonna say send it to his PO box so that it rots in his you know.
Why does my email smell like cheese? But yeah, so I'm adamant Jeff Bezos owes me cheese. He's owed cheese even by me, and that's why he got pissy when I streamed Eurovision. He was like, "Have that, you cheese thieving bastard."
Oh my god, I highly doubt that that's what it is, but it would be so funny if it was.
But speaking of Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, what were your opinions on the Rings of Power TV show? Have you seen it?
I've not watched it yet, but I heard quite a lot of
negatives.
Mixed. I heard quite a lot of mixed stuff, but a lot of them are dipping into negatives.
Yes,
I've heard that there was. I heard there's a lot of problems with casting and a lot of problems with story writing in general. It's just kind of was flopping all over.
Yeah, it was a bit iffy. But because they did such a good job with the TV show, Amazon are dipping their toes into the Lord of the Rings universe once more. We are officially getting a new Lord of the Rings MMO game. Now, I don't know about you, but that makes me warm inside.
See, okay, I was never really that massive into Lord of the Rings.
Get out.
Before. No, listen, I like it. I love it. It's amazing, but not that. I never was that big into it. I watched it with friends, and I really enjoyed the story. It's great. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's one of the best high fantasies ever written. I mean, it's the high fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's just, but like, I just don't know. I've not played any Lord of the Rings games, so I don't know what to compare it to. Now, the idea of having a proper, full-on, like fully fledged MMO in this universe sounds absolutely amazing. Because if it's gonna be actually, nicely modeled with nice graphics and really good story writing, and it's gonna touch on some of the stuff from the books and from the movies, that would be absolutely amazing, because that's also the platform where we could get more lore and more stories, and people will go fucking crazy about that.
Yeah. The issue is Amazon have a muddied history with creating MMOs, because obviously they made New World, and we all remember the disaster that was that game when it released. It didn't go down well with a lot of people at first. Now you don't hear anything about it now, so I'm assuming it's fixed. But
I heard some things about it being fixed, and I heard that there was like a lot of fixes and whatever. But when it was on release, I heard it was melting GPUs. So
yeah, I heard that too. It was kind of worrying, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Obviously, we know that they've kind of burnt a lot of bridges there with people. So I'm curious to see if this
it's Amazon and
releases
Embracer, is it?
Embracer. I don't know much about Embracer. I'm assuming you're familiar with them. Also, welcome in, Chris.
I only know Embracer because they recently bought the Tomb Raider IP.
Oh, is it them?
Yeah. So I looked into it recently. Where like Embracer, I heard doesn't have not that they don't have a bad track record with making games. They just are not that. It's just a bit meh.
They own a lot of people.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff because they've been buying a lot of stuff. Recently.
So they've bought Coffee Stain Holding, who make Goat Simulator and Satisfactory. Dark Horse Media, so those are the people that Dark Horse Media is actually a subsidiary of Dark Horse Comics, which is where Umbrella Academy is from. It's who Gerard Way wrote for.
That's right.
DECA Groups, who I am unfamiliar with, but apparently they make a lot of free-to-play games. Easy Brain, no idea. Embracer Free Mode, including its subdivision Middle Earth Enterprises. I'm going to assume it's that subsidiary that's making Lord of the. It'd be surprising if they didn't, considering the name. They own Gearbox.
They own. Oh, I didn't know they own Gearbox.
They bought Gearbox, which is insane.
Oh shit.
A place called Playon, German-Austrian media company, who partnered with Deep Silver. That's interesting. Saber Interactive.
Yeah.
Who I know Saber, but I'm blanking on what they've made, and THQ Nordic.
Well, that's because the Embracer Group used to be THQ.
Oh right, so they are just THQ, just under a different name.
They used to be Nordic Games and THQ, and they renamed it because they expanded quite a lot of their games that they bought. So now they're called Embracer Group.
Right, that makes more sense. But yeah, so it's them guys who, let's face it, THQ Nordic, Saints Row.
Oh yes, that's right.
That last game was shit. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
I've not played the latest one.
Apparently they've reworked all the combat and stuff in it, and apparently it's supposed to be kind of alright now, but when I played it, I bought it at launch because I'd loved Saints Row. I've been with Saints Row since the start, and I was so disappointed. It was the most boring game I've ever played in my life. It fell into the same trap that Watch Dogs did, which is, let's just go wacky and hipster and make it extremely stupid, but not in the Saints Row 3, badass but fucking mental. Crazy. It was you know what's crazy? Having chai tea with milk. That sort of crazy. It just doesn't fucking work. So I don't know where that came from, but
that's a very funny analogy.
If you play the game though, you will see that analogy, as stupid as it is, fits perfectly.
I will have to play that. Then.
But yeah, so Lord of the Rings, a new game created in partnership with Embracer Group, will be set in Middle Earth and feature the stories of The Hobbit and more. The upcoming game will be an open world MMO adventure in a persistent world set in Middle Earth, featuring the beloved stories of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings literary trilogy. The game is in the early stages of production with the Amazon Games Orange County studio, makers of the popular open world MMO game New World. Leading development, Amazon Games will publish the game globally for PC and console. Additional details include launch timing will be shared at a later date. We do have some quotes from them here. It says, we're committed to bringing players high quality games, whether through original IPs or long beloved ones like The Lord of the Rings, said Christopher Hartman, Vice President of Amazon Games. Bringing players a fresh take on the Lord of the... That term, fresh take, never ends well. Bringing players a fresh take on The Lord of the Rings has long been an aspiration of our team, and we're honoured and grateful that Middle-earth Enterprises is entrusting us with this iconic world. We're also pleased to be expanding our relationship with the Embracer Group following our Tomb Raider deal last year, as they've proven to be excellent collaborators. The world of Middle-earth continues to prove an endlessly fertile ground for creators, and Amazon Games has a passion for building immersive, compelling worlds and publishing games for a global audience, said Lee... I'm not even going to try that name, CEO of Free Mode. We have the clear ambition to create the highest quality entertainment products for this IP, whether we utilise internal resources or team up with the best industry partners that complement our capabilities. We're taking every care to deliver an MMO that will do justice to the expansive Middle-earth universe and delight players around the world. So they sound passionate. I'll give them that.
They sound very passionate. The fear that I have about Embracer Group at the moment is... It's the same fear I had when they said that they're going to be buying Tomb Raider IP. Is they are very ambitious and they're very, very sort of. We want to make everything new. We want to make everything exciting for the players, and we want player to experience this from a completely new point of view, and we want player to have all of that they want to have. And it's just kind of like, I am afraid you're going to hurt a lot of people by trying to please everyone.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the same thing with that. When Embracer said that they're going to be supporting Tomb Raider IP in sort of creating the next game, and there was a lot of things about it. There's going to be in Unreal Engine 5. There's going to be new voice actors. Going to be blah blah blah, lots of shit. But the problem there is that they were saying that they want to join all of the timelines. They want to make it a new graphics and a new point of view, and it's like that's a lot. That's 12 games you're trying to make into one big thing. And I'm afraid they're going to try and do that with Lord of the Rings, where, like, there is so much about Lord of the Rings and so much about Hobbit. Well, first of all, you've got the books. Then you've got the movies. You've got the new TV series. Then there's a bunch of games. And I understand this is all one canon. There is not separate timelines or anything. But if they're going to be trying super over-ambitious... about it, then I'm kind of afraid that they might flop on trying to make it too big for what it's supposed to be, you know? I just really hope they're gonna take time with it and they're gonna make it actually enjoyable rather than just trying to please everyone as they go.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see, because obviously we've had a mixed bag of Lord of the Rings games in the past. Like, we had the old Lord of the Rings MMO, which is still live, surprisingly. I wonder if they're going to issue a takedown on that when this one goes live. I'll be curious to see that. But we have that that's still live. We've had a couple little games in the middle that were a bit shit. We've had some movie tie-in games that were good. Then they went silent for a bit. We had some like iffy bits in the middle there as well. Then we got the Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor games. Beloved by fans. People adore them. Brings Assassin's Creed climbing with Batman combat in Lord of the Rings, with their iconic thingy system. I'm blanking on the word. You know what I mean, though, when it's like adversary system or something, I think it's called. To then go to Gollum, which looks like a PS2 game.
I've not actually seen that. Let me have a look.
Oh, Google it. It looks appalling. For the sake of people watching live as well, I will get you a picture of the Gollum game, and you could tell me whether you think that looks like next-gen graphics or not.
Oh, it's a bit strange looking, isn't it? Oh god, he's seen some shit.
Does that look like a game that should be releasing this year? It looks like Fable. It looks like Fable 2.
Yeah.
Which... I don't know much about the actual gameplay for this game. I imagine it's going to be about like the Styx games, the games where he plays that like little goblin thief. I imagine it's going to be something similar to that. I'm not sure, but I don't even know if this is out yet. But I know it's so far been fucking ripped as shit by fans.
Oh god, I can see it being really good, but I just don't know. I see what you mean. Like when you open it and you've got like Golem there, it's just a bit like he looks like a villain from Crash Bandicoot a little bit.
Yes, he does. It's not great. It looks like one of them games that is. Because I feel like this game's been due to come out a while, but it got stuck in development hell. I feel like had it come out when it was initially supposed to, it probably wouldn't have received as much of a cold reception as it has. But I feel like the fact that people have been waiting this long, and this is what we've been given.
That's the problem, yeah. Because like, the model of Golem from the actual movies. I feel like that if they went that sort of way, that would be so much better. I think my issue with this Golem in the game is his eyes are.
He's too bug eyes.
Out too much.
Yeah, he's too bug eyes.
Yeah, and it's just like I know that he's supposed to have like unnaturally large eyes for his face because his face is like sort of sunk in because he's like but that's just stupid. Yeah,
it's not a good look. But yeah, no. Like I said, I don't even know if that game's out yet or if it's coming out soon. But from what I've heard, the reception hasn't been warm. A lot of people aren't a fan of it. But like an MMO is a completely different thing from a single player story game. It's a completely different kettle of fish. And I will give them that with Amazon. New World, rocky start, but like I said, we've not heard anything recently, so I'm assuming the game's running fine now. I think it still has a decent player base as well. But it's interesting to see. Normally, when you get MMO companies like this, they make a game and they sit with it for a while. Look at people like ZeniMax and their open world, their MMOs. They made Elder Scrolls Online, I want to say 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still going strong.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
Like, they've not made another one. You look at people, I'm trying to think of any more MMOs. The D&D people, they've not made another MMO because they've got Neverwinter still going strong.
Oh, shit, that's right.
RuneScape is still going, for fuck's sake. World of Warcraft's going.
That's true.
And then you've got New World, who, in the space of... Well, it must have been soon, because I remember I was still with Huffle when it dropped. So it's in the last 4 years, because obviously we've been together just over 4 years. So it's in the last 4 years I've made an MMO. I want to say the last 2 years it released, and they're already making another one. That to me, that doesn't fill me with confidence from an MMO developer.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I've just been looking on how they are doing with New World, and turns out that because they had an absolutely horrible start in 2021, obviously, blah, 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 blah. However, Amazon has not given up on the game and released so many fixes. It has received an award in 2022 for most improved game of 2022.
Fair, I'll give him that then. I like a good redemption story. As someone whose favorite game is Cyberpunk and has a wife whose favorite game is No Man's Sky, I've got all the time in the world for a good redemption story in terms of gaming. So I'll give him that, fair enough. But it does feel weird for me that we've got an MMO dev that is moving on so quickly from New World. Like, are they going to run both at once? That's a risky business.
That's what I'm worried about. Because like I was gonna mention similar thing is Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 14. They're both MMOs. And,
I didn't realize they had two MMOs. I thought 14 was the only one.
No, 11 was their first MMO, and it's still running now. It recently had a really big update, apparently. But the thing is I was going to say, like, it's going to be similar to that, but when I think about it, that's run by two completely different teams.
It's run by two completely different teams. It took them 11 games to get to that point.
Yeah, so yes, you can have companies running more than one MMO at once, but this is fucking Square Enix. Square Enix can... They've got buildings upon buildings of people working on shit. So
they could have the capacity. Everyone who is just watching the recording of this and can't see what's going on is just going to be like, why does he keep saying gay time? So for anyone listening to the recording, basically Felix's camera has a thing where it randomly does. I don't know if you've ever seen it on shows where it's like technical problems. It brings up like the rainbow strips down it, like the vertical strips. It does that. So whenever it does it, we say gay time. So if anyone's wondering why we keep saying gay time, that's why.
See, I was gonna fix it, but I can't fix it with my current camera because it's an older one. And when I'm gonna get a new camera, it has been already decided for me by my fucking community that like there has to be a random PNG of like those bars just appear every now and then because we're not living without
Well, that's the
gay time.
thing.
That's just not
Gear
happening.
time is iconic. It is iconic for your channel. You can't get rid of that. Even if you
I
get a new
can't get
camera, just have it as a redeem, like I've got with my pop-ups and stuff, where I have like Kratos pop-up going, boy. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
boy. You know, you can fix it easily enough. Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
back to Amazon.
Yes.
I am worried mostly because you were saying that it's the same development studio that worked on New World, right? That they're
Yeah.
kind of going to do the next MMO. It's just a bit like, just be careful with it because if they're gonna stretch themselves too thin, then we're just gonna have two shit MMOs. You know.
yeah, the other curious thing is the fact that it's not just coming to PC, it's coming to consoles.
I know, that's very ambitious, isn't it? Because porting stuff is not easy.
Yeah, considering they couldn't even make a game that worked on the intended platform, now they want to make a game and port it to other ones. I'll give them that. Ambition's there, but I feel like it's going to be another Peter Molyneux situation. For anyone who doesn't know who Peter Molyneux is, he was the dude who used to run Lionhead Studios, the dude who did all the Fable stuff. Everything he ever promised never came to fruition because he had that much ambition that he could never fucking do it. He'd go, oh, this is cool, but what about if we did this? And then he'd start on that and they'd go, oh, but what about if we did this? And he'd just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And he'd get to a point where he's like, all right, I physically can't do this now, so I'm just going to put that in the bin and go away.
Yeah,
it doesn't
a bit
work.
sad, to be honest. Well, that's sort of okay. Actually, coming back to Final Fantasy, that's kind of what happened on the launch of Final Fantasy 14, because Final Fantasy 14 1.0 originally, because they were super over ambitious about it and like they had so many ideas and everything, and they started working on it, and unfortunately they created this monstrosity of a spaghetti code where it just was not working well. Like, apparently the story writing was great, the game was fine, it was playable, but everything was on the server side. So even the menus. So like if you were to like click on something and wait for like a pop-up window, that's server side. So you had to wait for the server to respond to it. So, and that's why when the new writer came in, he looked at it and he was like, this is fucking shit. So what he did, he crashed in game, he crashed the moon into the planet, and he restarted the entire MMO from the beginning.
What a guy. I love that. Someone who just commits and he's like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, he straight up came in and was like, fuck this shit, I'm starting over.
And I bet everybody thanked him for it though.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
when they were talking, when World of Warcraft Classic came out, there was a lot of talks about like, oh, how about we get Final Fantasy 14 Classic and we all get to play 14 and 1.0. And like the creators and the developers, there was like a panel, and they just were like, no, what the fuck? No, we're not doing that. Nobody wants this.
Oh, I love it. But no, I love someone who, I feel like this is the issue is, too many game devs are too proud to admit when they fuck up.
Yeah,
like,
that is true.
EA are the perfect example of if they fuck up, it's instantly somebody else's fault. But Amazon themselves are terrible for it. It's like when they fucked up with the Rings of Power TV show. Because it's a well-established thing that female dwarves have beards.
Yeah.
And in Rings of Power, none of the female dwarves have beards. And when they were called out on that, Amazon, rather than admitting they fucked up, straight up lied and said that the women had beards and they'd painstakingly put the beards on hair by hair. Would you like to see the woman who apparently has a beard?
Yeah, go on. I want to see this. Excuse me.
So apparently, this woman has a beard.
No, she don't. What's her name? Hold on, I want to see that on my big screen.
Disa, D-I-S-A.
D-I-S-A.
Yeah, apparently she has a beard. And when called out about it, Amazon basically said that the people who were watching it were liars, and they were just misogynists and TV Nazis who just didn't want people of color to succeed. It's like no one mentioned the color of her skin. No one's got an issue with the color of her skin. It's the fact that she's supposed to have a beard and she doesn't, and you're saying she does.
Like, no one gives a shit about what's the color of her skin. Like, we care about whether she's got a beard or not.
Amazon jumped on every single criticism people had and basically said that people were lying and making it up and review bombing and talking shit. It's similar to when Henry Cavill left Witcher because they weren't doing what they were told, and then they released that bag of shit that was Blood Origins, and people said it was being boycotted by Henry Cavill fans, and it's not actually that bad. It's like, no, it is. It's shit. It's that shit you had to cut 3/4 of the show and piece together what you could, which is why relationships jump and skip and no one gives a fuck about anyone because nothing's established.
Yeah.
It sounds like a case of the Emperor's New Clothes. If you can't see it, it means you're stupid.
Honestly.
Yeah, basically. So I feel like with the fact that they can't take responsibility for a fuck up, like the fact that they didn't really take responsibility for the fuck up that was New Worlds, I feel like they just kind of said, well, it's because people are exploiting it. Like that's the one thing. One of the main things that was broken last year was the currency system, because people were exploiting it and getting infinite currency, and the market was getting saturated in the game, and it was breaking it. So rather than admit they fucked up and made a currency system which is broken and can be easily exploited and ruined, they turned around and said, oh, well, it's the fans' fault it's the players' fault for exploiting it in the first place.
For fuck's sake,
so well, make it so they fucking can't.
Yeah, exactly. Like make a cap or something if you're really worried about it.
Like,
that's so stupid.
That was a perfect example of them not taking responsibility for the fact that they didn't put the limitations in that they needed to put in, because everyone knows with gamers, if there is a way to get infinite money, gamers are going to do it, especially in an MMO when it's grindy as fuck. They are going to do it because they cannot be arsed with the grind. People are busy. People having to work more hours to afford less things in the real world. They do not want to come and grind on a game for 12p an hour. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But the thing is like if you don't want people to find exploits in a grindy game, give them fun things to grind for, or like a fun, I don't know, fun mini games that award these kind of things. Like something, make them engaged in it. The fact that they had to go out of their way and find this, and also then like everyone was like, do you know what, that's better than grinding, means that, I'm sorry, your MMO is probably not that great.
Yeah, like every MMO has a way to grind.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's fine, because you'll have them people who would rather grind than play the game, and that's fine. But the majority of people, the general consensus is, yeah, but why do that when I can just play the game and earn money? But when your game is that fucking dull that even the average player who would normally have that stance says, actually, I'm going to go do that. Mm-hmm. It reflects more on your game than your player base. That's the issue.
That's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong, there is absolutely ways to grind money and like get infinite, basically grinding systems in all of the MMOs, but people are not going to do it because there is more fun things to do.
Yeah. Also, welcome in, Mandy. I forgot to say hello when you came in.
Hi, Mandy.
But yeah, so I'm skeptical. I want it to be good. Well. The fact that they've said it spans the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, I'm intrigued because
I am as well.
There's a large time jump between the two.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So how are they going to have both old Bilbo and young Bilbo? I imagine they'll probably do it in the same 60 years. Thank you for that, Mandy. I didn't know how long the time jump was. But what I'd be curious to see is, are they going to do it in a similar framework to how Elder Scrolls Online does it, where each year they release a new, what they call a chapter.
New expansion. Yeah,
and
new
chapter. Yeah, each chapter they drip feed you it through the year. And then obviously you can go back and play the old ones after they've fully released. Is it going to be similar to that? Do you reckon? Like 1 year we'll get Hobbit, like part 1 of The Hobbit, then part 2 of The Hobbit? No, like break it down like the book, like the films did. Do you reckon they'll do something like that?
Sense. I think what it might do is they're gonna start with Hobbit, obviously, and I think they're gonna do like a part by part every expansion.
Yeah.
I personally think what they're gonna do in between is they're gonna make an expansion that bridges the two stories together.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. I would love to see an expansion that's like basically this covers the time skip of 60 years. This is what
Yeah.
happened, and
It
it's
would be
even if
good.
it was, even if it's just going to be like a couple of storylines, I don't know, every month or something like that, then it's like in between each of them is like a 10-year time
Yeah.
skip or something like that. It's like, oh, and this is what happened here, and now we have old Bilbo.
Yeah.
So
But it's a good thing though, because the way that they could do it is if they did do it like that, where they released like they split the thing like the movies did and do like a 3-part for the Hobbit, and then obviously you had like Fellowship, Two Towers,
Two Towers,
I said
and
Twin
Return of
Towers,
the
and I was
King.
like, that's something
Yeah,
very different.
Yeah.
It's like if they did it like that, the one good thing about that is if you would have players who would come in at the start and they'd be excited and they would know that 6 years down the line they're going to get Return of the King content, and let's face it, Return of the King is the best Lord of the Rings movie. It's fucking amazing.
It's pretty good.
It's amazing.
The battle scene is.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yes.
And you are going to have returning people who sit there and they play it and they're like 6 years down the line, they're still coming back. It's like, finally, I get to run at the gates of Mordor with Aragorn.
Yeah, absolutely.
You will have that. You'll have that pullback for people, which I think is what they need.
I do wonder how they're gonna do it, because if it's an MMO, obviously you will have to include a lot of character customization, because unless they're gonna make it the way that 14 does it. There's like a canon story protagonist that they call the hero of the light.
Yeah.
And like you just customize them, because I'm kind of worried if they're gonna make it like, oh, everyone's just Frodo in the new trilogy, and it's just like that doesn't really open to customization that much. So I'm kind of hoping that it's gonna be more like we're all Frodo. Yeah,
I reckon what they would probably do is they would probably include every single main character from the movies, because they'd have to keep people drawn in. And I reckon what they would do is they would just add a new member of the Fellowship. That'd be you.
Yeah. I think that's probably going to be the best.
And
way to do it,
rather than it being your adventure, you'd just be along for the ride, kind of deal. That'd work
so
for
like,
me.
Less of a 14 approach, more of a World of Warcraft approach, where like you are the champion, but the main NPCs are like they do the big things, and you're there. You're there to like do all the big battles and everything, but you're actually canonically just fighting alongside everyone.
Yeah, it's not your story. Yeah. I feel like that would be the best way to approach it, because otherwise you're entering a dangerous game, because you know the minute they start fucking with the Lord of the Rings lore, the fan base comes down hard. They are a brutal fan base to please, and as we both know, because we are in that fan base, it is a dangerous line to walk. But I feel like it could be done. If done right, it could be one of my favorite MMOs of all time, easily. But that's if they do it right.
That's right. Yeah. I'm excited for the launch. I want to see how it starts. I want to see how it goes. Whether I'm going to be able to afford another MMO subscription is another thing. we'll see. Maybe we'll do like some kind of a promo where like you can do the first 20 levels for free or whatever.
Yeah, well, if this comes out and it's good, I'll probably ditch my ESO Plus for the Lord of the Rings game. It's safe to say, because as much as I love Elder Scrolls, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely in love with the Elder Scrolls universe. It's Lord of the Rings, man. There's no competition, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I'm sold already, really.
I'm nowhere near as much into Lord of the Rings as you are, and I think I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I hope they do it like ESO. Yeah, ESO would be a good way to do it. So you just have your game, and then you can buy the premium subscription. Would work so much better than how World of Warcraft does it, which is a monthly just to play. But we all know, Amazon like money.
Amazon do like money. I think it's going to be a monthly subscription.
I think it's going to be a monthly one. But the interesting thing for that would be, how would they tackle that on console? I've never seen a game do a monthly subscription to play it on console.
14 does that. It works. Yeah, it works. It's not... The main issue is that there is differences in... like control schemes and stuff like that, but if you port it correctly on a controller, it's not really that much of a big deal.
Fair dues.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that because PlayStation specifically is so separate from everything else, you cannot have a single subscription for all of it. So, like for example, for 14, it was that you can have a license for an account on PC, and if you want to play it on PS4, you have to buy the game again as a
Yeah.
separate PS4 license. So that there's a bit of a problem with that. So it might not be cross-safe,
Yeah.
but it will definitely be cross.
But this is a thing that could turn people away, though, is the fact that to play online, obviously, you need the console's online subscription, and then you would also need the MMO subscription.
And yeah.
It's enough to turn people away, I imagine. So it'd be curious to see if they take that into account and acknowledge that and be like, maybe we shouldn't do that. I would like to see personally.
Sorry, go on.
I would like to see more personally of them just like throwing a full game out, full price, like ESO does, and then just, if you want to pay for the premium subscription, go for it. Wizard 101 was fucking mint.
I was just about to say, like, man, they put in the best game of my childhood.
Yeah, no, that wasn't gay time. I don't know what that was, and it was just fragmenting a bit.
Sure,
It's on my end. Just ignore it. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, Wizards 101. Oh my god, I played so much of it. I never gone past the starting area because to get to like the further areas in the game, there was like you had to buy the premium version of the game or whatever. But there was such a cool concept.
Yeah, I was in a similar boat. I didn't pay for it, but I love to go play Wizards 101. Is it still running? I think we should all play Wizards 101 for community
Bro, I am
night.
literally googling it right now. I want to know. Wizards 101. If it is, oh boy.
Oh god, I'm so zoomed in. EU Wizards
Yes.
101. It actually exists.
It's still running.
Can you just like, do you just click play now and it's browser based?
No, you've got like a browser-based bit where you make your character and then you have to download the game.
Fair enough. Well, that's our weekend solved.
Yep.
But yeah, so
God, I love that game.
you know, I'm excited about the Lord of the Rings game, but I'm apprehensive, one, because of Embracer's history with New Worlds and Amazon's history with Lord of the Rings already. It's
Yeah.
I'm not getting my hopes up, but I want it to be good. But
I hope that we're gonna be proven wrong and it's gonna be actually absolutely amazing because I would love to see it. I would love to see a Lord of the Rings MMO that I can get lost in. That would be absolutely amazing.
it would be awesome.
Yeah. I hope. I'm apprehensive, but I have big hopes.
Yeah, me too. But moving on from one company that made a broken game and fixed it to another. Cyberpunk news. So next month, we get a reveal event for the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC, the DLC that is being headed by the beautiful, beautiful man starring in it. That is Idris Elba. I am excited for that DLC. As a lot of you know on this channel, I am a very, very, very big fan of that game. I have put nearly 1,000 hours into it. Now, the event for revealing it is next month. There has been a leak that the game may be releasing that very same month. We may be getting the DLC next month. I am excited. I know, Felix, you won't have much to say on this because I don't think you've even played Cyberpunk, have you?
I played Cyberpunk, but I'm nowhere near like any kind of end of the main game yet. So
Well, you're gonna have to get cracking on it then, aren't you?
yeah, I will have to. Honestly, if it's coming out next month, I might just have to ditch everything else.
Yeah,
and
it's
just play this.
it's a fucking good game, to be fair. Whereabouts
awesome.
Whereabouts are you out on it then? Can you remember?
I've done the heist, and I have. I'm in the part where the world is open now, and I'm just sort of fucking around. So.
Oh wow! So you've literally just finished the 3-hour tutorial, and then you just wow! You've got a fair bit to go.
I've
then
got a lot to do there. Yeah.
You are going to get so absorbed in that world. Basically, we're going to lose Felix for the next 3 weeks if he boots that game up. But it's definitely worth going through and finishing it because it is amazing.
I've got Zelda in the evening, I've got Cyberpunk in the day. I might just stop streaming for a couple of weeks and
I don't think anyone would blame you. How are you finding the new Zelda anyways?
Oh, it's awesome. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. They've stepped up quite a lot of mechanics and they've replaced quite a lot of stuff. There's some very strange sus things happening is the best way I can explain it without spoiling it. There is a lot of stuff that has been seemingly forgotten, but when you play the game further, you found out that actually no, it's still there, but everyone's just being very secretive about it for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
So it's just very interesting. I need to play a bit further because I actually haven't done the main dungeons yet, so I don't have the big story bits yet. But
See,
I'll have to come back.
I've seen bits of Tears of the Kingdom, and I must admit I have no idea what I'm looking at.
It's fine.
Don't
worry.
I've not played the other
Breath
one.
of the Wild.
I've not played Breath of the Wild yet. And my plan is once I finish Star Wars, I might do that on stream as my big game because I've never played a Zelda game. But
Yeah.
from what I've seen, I'm completely clueless as to what's happening. But I'm so intrigued. It's a very
so
pretty
good.
game.
See, the thing is, I would say normally play the first one before the other, but if you will start playing just Tears of the Kingdom immediately, it's fine. You don't have to have Breath of the Wild knowledge to know how to play this game. It just makes it a bit more of a... It makes it a more fun experience for me because you've got the history of Breath of the Wild already, and you have played through it, and you sort of learn the world there because the map is the same. It happens in the same world. It's just they added more stuff to the map, and you've got the people, and there's recurring characters, which is amazing because they speak to you like, "Oh, hi, Link, it's you. I haven't seen you in like fuck knows how long it was." So it's like you got that connection. It's actually really cool. But if you just want to try out Tears of the Kingdom, I don't think you will be too lost because it's such an open world, massive thing that it will be fine. But it's better if you have the if the other one.
We own Breath of the Wild. I've just not played it, so that's why I was kind of wanting to do that one first. Plus, my plan is because Chloe's playing Breath of the Wild at the minute because she's never beaten it. Once she's finished Breath of the Wild, I'm going to buy her Tears of the Kingdom, and then I'm going to go onto Breath of the Wild and play it on stream. That way, then, if I get stuck, I have a resident wife who knows what I'm doing.
Yes, absolutely.
Come help me. Because as much as I am a big open world RPG player, it looks very different in terms of atmosphere and style. So it's very much... I'm going to be out of my comfort zone too with that game, and I kind of like it. It's exciting because it is something I've never really played before. I think the furthest I've got is I walked down the hill in the tutorial and hit something with a stick. I've not got the glider yet, so I've not got off that tutorial bit. So,
I was going to ask whether you've left the Great Plateau, but if you just walk down the hill...
I literally walked down to the hill to that ruined church and hit something with a stick. That was it. And I was like, this game looks fun. And then I got Disco Elysium and got hooked into that, and that game's amazing. So,
fair. But coming back to Phantom Liberty, so that we don't stray too far away from the topics, I am very excited to see that this is happening still. Now, do remind me, because I actually don't know, is this a free DLC upgrade, or...?
No, so this is the paid DLC. There was originally supposed to be 2, but due to the... Because the main issues with the game was because they created a brand new engine for it. They made their own game engine for Cyberpunk, and it didn't work. They've ditched it for everything future. It's all going to Unreal. But because of the issues with that and launch and stuff, and they spent so much time working on stabilizing the engine and getting stuff working, they've dropped their usual... They were going to do a same sort of thing that they did with Witcher 3. They were going to do 2 DLCs. They've kind of just taken the best of both and formed them into one cohesive story, and they're doing 1 DLC instead. So it is a paid DLC. It'll probably be around 20-25 quid. I imagine that tends to be maybe 30 at a push.
Yeah.
Tends to be the sort of prices that they put them on. But there's the Summer Game Fest is June 8th. So that's when we're going to get a lot of gaming news in general.
So we're sort of fingers crossed expecting some more news.
Well,
on that day,
they have said, Cyberpunk themselves have said they're going to be at Summer Game Fest, and that's where we're going to get some actual gameplay in the DLC, and we're also going to get the release date. And it's I don't even know where the source has come from. There we go. It's come from a podcast which have done several CD Projekt Red leaks in the past that have been proven correct, and
right.
they've said that it's going to drop somewhere between the June 8th reveal and early July. So we're looking at the next sort of month. We're going to get
Okay.
it. Which, if that is true, holy fuck will I come.
Oh yeah.
I am
Are you
so
gonna-
excited.
Are you going to be streaming Phantom Liberty then?
I don't know, because I've not streamed Cyberpunk. Because I tried Cyberpunk on my channel, it didn't really grip, and I get why it's a very slow game.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think I will. I'll probably play that in my own personal time.
Yeah, I'm sort of the same about it because I was gonna stream Cyberpunk at some point, but the more I found out what people like me to watch, the more I see that it's mostly horror games that people would like me to see. So I don't think this would work that well.
Yeah. To be fair, you still played Atomic Heart.
I did, but that one's not as well received as I thought it was gonna be, to be honest.
Because I would personally, I think if you were wanting to play Cyberpunk on stream, I would say sort of like your Atomic Heart slot once you finish Atomic Heart, it could be good on that slot there. But then you can still keep your horror slot because obviously, like you said, that's very popular.
Yeah, maybe.
I would say, considering how much you've got to do, I'd definitely stream it because it'd be your first impressions. The issue with me is I've played the game 4 times. So there's nothing fresh for me there. It'd just be me breezing through the game going, now do this, now do that, now do this, now do that. There's not really anything there for me. I think I do still need to, in terms of CD Projekt Red stuff, I do need to go back through and do the DLCs for Witcher 3 because obviously we did the Death March Witcher run with a death counter, which, can I just say, I think I only had like 17 deaths or something in the entire game.
Shit,
on
that's
Death March.
awesome.
Fucking smashed it. I've still got the DLCs to do for that, which I want to go back and do at some point. So that's going to keep me busy. After I've done Tears of the Kingdom and then I do that, I'm going to be so busy with it. And then I want to go back and I want to do Dark Souls at some point as well because I've never played the Dark Souls games.
Oh, I'd love to do that as well. Actually.
So there's
You know,
I've got plenty.
I hate the fact that I recently started a full-time job because I have so little time to actually play video games at home now.
Ah, mate, welcome to adulthood. It's shit.
Oh, I know. It's just not great. My camera keeps unfocusing from me, and I really hate it.
If it's any consolation, after this stream, it'll just be audio, so you won't need to worry about it.
Oh, that's a fair point, actually.
So you're all safe. But yeah, no, so hopefully next month we should have some stuff for that.
Yeah, would be great.
And
Looking at it just through a few articles and everything, it does look like it's going to be what people are expecting and what rumors are going around is there's going to be, well, first of all, a massive storyline added.
Yeah.
A bunch of new weapons, a bunch of new locations, a bunch of new outfits. It sounds like it's going to be amazing.
Well, that's the thing. As far all I know so far is we're getting a whole new district. Obviously, like you said, new items in terms of outfits and weapons. Idris Elba's going to be in it.
Yeah.
And it's apparently supposed to take the tone of an espionage spy thriller, which
Ooh.
I am happy for. I feel like that's the one thing that the
good.
game was needing. But it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping. I no doubt in my mind that it's not going to be fully polished when it releases. I'm not.
No.
With what happened with the main game working with this engine, I've got no doubt in my mind that there's going to be some teething issues with the DLC. But I like Cyberpunk enough to weigh that against it and just power through them. But other than that, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be good. I'm excited to see what else comes at Summer Game Fest, which is on the 8th. So what day is that? Should we just double check my calendar and see? So we won't.
8th.
So we won't be doing a podcast next week. 'Cause it's every 2 weeks. I might skip a podcast week and do the next one on the 11th of next month because that will be the weekend following the event. So we'll have a lot to cover then. So I'll probably do that. Because I imagine there's going to be a lot to cover. It's going to be good though. I'm excited for it. Like I said, because even if we don't get Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty 1 month release date, which I'm hoping we do, we probably won't. There'll still be plenty of other announcements there. But that is our lot for today, Felix.
Is that it?
That's all. Yeah, it's been a quiet week. There's a lot of other stuff. Like there was a dude who blew up a plane for a YouTube video, but well, he crashed it. He was flying a plane. He straight up jumped out of it to parachute while filming. He just saw the plane go meow. He's been arrested for 20 years. But other than that, there's not really any news.
Oh no, I don't mean it as like, oh, there's not enough content, but it was I'm mostly saying just kind of like, damn, my first podcast episode.
Yeah,
and
your
actually,
first
it's
podcast
just- it
episode,
went
you made
really
it
well.
all the way through. You smashed it, mate. Did you
Love
enjoy
it.
yourself?
Yes, I loved it. I can't wait to be a guest again. Whenever you need me, just message me. I'll be here.
I will do. You're always welcome. But on that note,
you.
thank you everyone for being here. I have been Yorkie. You can find me at Yorkshire Bother on Twitch. Joining me has been the lovely Felix. You find him at Felix_the unicorn over on Twitch as well. Obviously, we both have Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that as well. Same handles there, so go follow them. Thank you for being here. I hope you've had a very, very nice Sunday morning with us. And if you are watching on Spotify, I hope you've enjoyed the recording. One more big round of applause for Felix for his first ever podcast.
Thank you very much.
I'll put that track in we discussed earlier back in, don't worry.
Yes.
And on that note, we're going to go. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Toodaloo, au revoir, and a goodbye.